everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to recommend my 5 favorite baseball romances. So to me, baseball and spring go together like peanut butter and jelly. They are just one and the same. I grew up with 3 brothers who all played, and so I kind of grew up at the ball field and then have just kind of stayed in love with baseball. We love the Kansas City Royals, and we'll just spend days outside watching, or we'll watch it on here. They play so often, and it's such a long, slow game that it's just like wonderful spring uplifting background noise. Like I said, spring and baseball are the same to me. So I love it. And I find myself this time of year seeking out baseball romances. And they're so hard to find, I feel like. You see a lot more like football and hockey and different sports romances, but I feel like baseball is a little bit harder to find. So that's why I'm here today to do my 5 top favorites. So I've got 2 adult and 3 new adult, because there's a lot. I feel like it's the heaviest prevalence in that new adult age where they're in college and they're kind of making decisions about their sport, and then the rest of their life, what they're going to do, if they're going to try to go pro, if they're not, and kind of their romances and how that works through being a collegiate athlete. But first, let's get into the 2 adult ones I have. So the first one is Evie Drake Starts Over by Linda Holmes. So this one is about Evie and Dean. Evie has just lost her husband, and so she's living in this house, and she's got like this apartment or something that's like connected to the house or maybe behind the house. I don't know exactly how it works. I can't remember. But and Dean is a Major League Baseball player who has now come down with the yips. He is a pitcher and he can no longer throw. So he moves into her little apartment thing, and it is their romance. And I loved it. I thought it was a great balance of like sweet and deep, and I loved the baseball element and just kind of that whole conversation around what do you do when you are an athlete and then you can no longer perform your sport. So I love that conversation, and I really enjoyed that book. The next one is, of course, The Bromance Book Club by Alyssa K. Adams. So this is the first one. This one's about Gavin and Thea. They are a married couple, and they are in trouble. And so Gavin decides to join the Bromance Book Club. The Bromance Book Club is a bunch of men who get together and read romance books to try to figure out how to woo their women. And he is a MLB player, and a lot of the other people in the Bromance Book Club are as well. So you get that element of just like the sport camaraderie and that conversation around baseball, and I really enjoyed that. The next one is arguably my favorite of this list, and that is The Locker Room by Megan Quinn. This one is about Emery and Knox, and this is the whole legend around if you take a girl back to the locker room, you know that you're going to marry that girl. And so Knox, I just feel like, is one of the best heroes I have read in a long time. And his like relentless pursuit of Emery is just so sweet. So she has moved to this college because her boyfriend or maybe fiance of like 6 years has broken up with her, and so she moves to this college to be near some of her girlfriends, and she has no desire for a relationship. She just got out of this long one that she's been in since she was really young, and yet Knox is drawn to her, and he will not let her go, and he like is so respectful of her, and yet wants her to know like, I'm gonna be here for you, I'm gonna pursue you, this is gonna be wonderful. And I loved it, you guys. I loved it. I loved more than just the baseball element. I loved him and his like pursuit of her. I loved the conversation around what do you do when you're like 21 and have been in this long relationship and now don't fit in with your friends who are out there partying kind of single, and you're like, wait, how do I do this? I love that conversation. I just loved that book, and there are more in that series, and I cannot wait to read them. They were so good. The next one I'm going to recommend is Jock Rowe by Sarah Nye. This one is about Scarlett and Rowdy. They meet at a party one Friday night. Scarlett is all like in a hoodie, clearly kind of frumpy, just not at all like dressed to impress like some of the other girls are. And they kick her out of the house, on the baseball house on Jock Rowe, which is I'm guessing like a strip of houses. They're in the baseball house, and the guys kick her out and say she's being a jock block. So she has to go wait on the porch. So Rowdy is the one responsible for like taking her out, and they end up spending the whole Friday night standing on the porch talking to each other, and therein starts their friendship, which then of course turns into a romance. And while I liked this one quite a bit, I thought that meet cute was the best part for sure. I loved them getting to know each other, and there is a little bit of depth in it, but you get the perspective of both of the people, and so you kind of see that their thoughts are initially lustful as opposed to like really wanting to establish this friendship. So while it is a friends to lovers, it's a little more smutty than I like, but you guys know I'm a stickler for smut. I don't love it, so take that with a grain of salt. The last one I'm going to recommend, Jock Rowe is also the first in a series, so if you love it, you can have more. The last one is The Ninth Inning by Jay Sterling. This one is also the first in a series. So again, if you love it, there's more and more and more. This one is a second chance romance about Cole and Christina. So Cole and Christina were together, and he said, I don't want to be in this relationship because I really want to be able to focus on going pro and like doing everything I can for baseball. And so he was like pretty rude to her, broke it off, said we're done. And now he is like in this major slump. He can't play well. He's just kind of in a slump. And he realizes he kind of needs Christina. And so it is their second chance romance. And it was sweet. The book was very much focused around their romance. Like it was pretty much a pure romance book. But that part about baseball and him like trying to balance his career and his personal life was definitely prevalent. And so there's a lot of baseball in it. And there's a few other deeper elements, but I would say this one is the most kind of basic of all of them. That to say, I still really enjoyed it. So those are my 5 recommendations for baseball romances. If you guys have any more, please let me know, because as I'm filming this, it's May 15th. We have a lot of baseball season left, and I want more. So thank you guys for watching. Again, let me know if you've read any of these or if you have any other baseball recommendations, and we'll see you in the next one.